सुनो तुम ना इसको ब्लॉक कर दो, तुम आगे जल्दी आ जाओ फटाफट, तुमको जाना है तो चल जाओ, ब्लॉक करो फटाफट, चाबी नेक्स्ट मंथ आ गया।
Good evening, friends. How are you all doing? Hope everything is great. Jai Mata Di. I just came back from Vaishnadevi. Today, I have been so busy that I could not find a suitable video for you. Yes, today, everything that I got since morning was something so urgent that I could not put it off. And that is exactly the kind of career we are going to talk today. So welcome to today's episode. This is the episode 4 of our season 1 of top careers in banking and finance. Yes, guys, I'm Amit Goyal from TKW's Institute of Banking and Finance, and every Saturday at 5 p.m. we are doing this live at your favorite social media channel. We go live on Facebook, we go live on LinkedIn, we go live on Instagram, we go live on YouTube, at your favorite social media platform, on the channel TKWS IBF. Every week, Saturday, 5 p.m., you can join us in top careers in banking and finance. This session is suitable for everyone who wants to make a career in finance, everyone who's studying commerce, everyone who's done his BCom, BBA, bachelor's in economics, etc., has got into a job, is looking for a job. This session is suitable for anyone and everyone who wants to make a career in banking or finance field. Every week on Saturday at 5 p.m., we are discussing one new job role. Yes, we will be dissecting, we will be understanding, we will be analyzing a job role so that you take a more informed choice. Once you know what a job role is all about, you will be in a better position to decide whether it is suitable for you or not. So join us every Saturday at 5 p.m. We will be doing 12 episodes of this and tell you about 12 unique careers, which could be really exciting, great careers in banking and finance. So join us every Saturday, and those of you who share, you know what will happen. If you share this session with your friends on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, if you share this session and our TKW's IBF team likes what you've done, if they like your shares, if they like your tags, if they like your comments, if they like your conversation, they might give you free of cost a career boot camp on how to build a great career. In this boot camp, we help the students in creating a career roadmap for themselves. So we will be doing our next career boot camp in the month of October. While you're attending this session, share it with your friends, and who knows, you might get free access to our career boot camp. So without much delay, let me introduce you to our today's career. But before I do that, the past 3 careers that we have done are investment banking, equity analyst, and what is the third one? What is the third one? Let's see if you've been concentrating. Tell me in chat, what are the 3 careers we have done? What is the third career we have done? I want to see in chat. If you're attentive, you've been attending these sessions, I want you to tell me whether you know what are the 3 careers. What is the third career we have discussed in this session? अरे ठाकुर साहब भी आ गए. Okay, Parag, Thakur साहब भी आ गए. Parag, now I want you to tell me what is the third career we have done. I want everybody to put in chat what are the 3 careers. I've already told you we have done equity analyst, we have done investment banking. What is the third career we have done? Investment banking, yes, investment banking, equity analysis. What is the third career? Sachin, yes, Sachin, yes, congratulations, you got it right. The third career is wealth management. So far we have done 3 careers, 3 jobs which are related to banking and finance, and today I am going to introduce you to the 4th one. But before I do that, I want to know what job or career would you like to do in banking. So if you have a job or a career in mind, put it in chat, put it in comments, and let us know what job or career would you like to do in banking and finance. Who knows, my next episode could be about that. So I want to know from you, what is the job or career you would like to do in banking and finance field? Great. I know a lot of people are saying wealth manager, wealth management. So apart from these 3, do you have any other job or career you would like to do? I have already educated you about 3 jobs in banking and finance. But apart from these, is there any other job or career in banking and finance field that you might want to do? Let's see. I want to know what job or career would you like to do. Yes, Tanesh, you know it all 3. Excellent. I hope you know the knowledge, skills, and attitude required for these careers. But now I want to know which other career, which job would you like to do in banking and finance field? Of course, you may not know about many jobs, and that is why we are doing this top careers in banking and finance series. But for now, anything that you know that you could become in banking and finance, I want to hear from you. What could that be? So we have Aditya who says he might want to become a financial advisor. Yes, Aditya, maybe we could take it up as one of the topics in our upcoming sessions. But apart from this, is there anyone who has some job in mind? Put it in comments. I would like to do investment banking. Manu wants to become an investment banker. Excellent, Manu. We have already talked about what are the knowledge, skills, and attitude in our previous session on investment banking. So you can go to YouTube if you've missed the session. Check those knowledge, skills, and attitude. Make sure you build those knowledge, you build those skills, and you have the right attitude, and definitely you will be able to make a career in investment banking. Okay, so we have somebody who wants to become a hedge fund manager. Excellent, that's a great idea. I will take it up in one of my sessions. We'll talk about private equity, hedge fund, and other portfolio managers as one of the job roles. Apart from this, is there anyone who has some other job role in mind? Anything that you would like to do? I will take up portfolio managers, hedge fund managers as one of the job roles. Divya Gupta might want to do business banking. So hold on there. Keep it to you. We will definitely do a session on business banking so that you can take a more informed decision. Gagan also wants to be a financial advisor. So if there are many people wanting to be a financial advisor, we will definitely do one of our lives on financial advisor. So far we have done 3. I have people who want to become a portfolio manager and hedge fund manager. So we will definitely do a session around that. We have people wanting to do financial advisor. We have people who want to get into RBI. So let me tell you quickly that RBI is a company. This session is not about what company you would want to get into, but RBI does a lot of things which you might want to do. So we can definitely do a session around one of those activities. So we will definitely do some session about central banking jobs. We will do a session about what kind of roles do central bankers play, and that could be your calling. Apart from that, do we have any other job expectations? Do we have any other thoughts with you? I want you to share them, but I want you to not cling to those thoughts right now. Share your desired jobs, share your ideas, share your thought process. Tell me what jobs you would like to do. But then only when I do a session with all of you about the knowledge, skills, and attitude required to be in that job role, then decide whether you have the right attitude, then work on the right knowledge and skills to make sure that you get your desired job role. So I've got some new ideas from all of you. Excellent. Now, let me tell you about the job that we are going to do today. I once again remind you, it is Top Careers in Banking and Finance, a session that we do every Saturday at 5 p.m. on your favorite social media channel. So if you have not already shared this session, if you've not already WhatsApped it, if you've not already liked it, if you've not already started telling your friends about it, please go ahead and do it, because doing that may get you a free career bootcamp, roadmap. Great. So in today's session, I'm going to take up a job of a. Okay, let's build a little suspense there. This is a job which does not have too many jobs. So far I have covered jobs roles where there are plenty of jobs. This is not one of those. This is a role for which there are fewer jobs, and these fewer jobs also do not give that much salary. The salaries are great, but it does not give you those 1 crore plus salaries, right? However, this is a job which a lot of students want to do. A lot of students that I meet, a lot of aspirants that I meet, they want to get into this job role. Can anyone guess what this job role is about? Let's see if anyone can guess. Today's job is a really interesting job to do. There are few job opportunities. There is lesser salary than investment banking or wealth management. However, many people want to do this job. This job is of, I think the question was leaked already. The job is of a credit analyst. Yes, we are going to talk about a credit analyst job. An amazing job. However, less openings. That means more competition, less salary, which means you cannot be very aspirational. You should not be aspiring for a 1 crore salary if you decide to go into credit analyst. But then really an amazing job, and that is why a lot of people want to do it. Okay, so let's understand what does a credit analyst do. A credit analyst is responsible for evaluating all the credit applications or all the potential borrowers for a bank, a non-banking financial corporation, or any lender for that matter. So this could be, they could be a private equity fund wanting to give money in form of debt to a business to scale up. There could be a merchant firm wanting to give debt for a merger or an acquisition deal. It could be a bank wanting to give personal credit. It could be a business banking division of a bank, or it could be an NBFC, a non-banking financial corporation, which is also in the business of giving loans. All these companies, whenever they have to give a loan, they have to first analyze and review the borrower. So a credit analyst job role is about analyzing and reviewing the borrowers, their credentials, their ability to repay, and many other factors which make the bank or the organization take decision on whether we should lend this money to them. So I think you might have seen the movie Dhoom 3. If you remember the movie Dhoom 3, Amir Khan's father had taken a loan for running that circus. And eventually they had to give up that circus. The bank took it back because the circus could not make that much money. Now, actually, this is a fault of the credit analyst who agreed to give that loan. Ideally, a credit analyst is responsible for evaluating whether this business will be able to repay the loan or not. But often, in any other job, credit analysts also make mistakes, and that is why we have non-performing assets. We have NPAs with banks and financial institutions. Recently, our finance minister has done a great job by creating a bad bank where all these NPAs can be parked. So now, more than ever before, bankers will be able to focus on evaluating loan applications and giving out more loans. And that is the job of a credit analyst. A credit analyst is responsible for evaluating whether this borrower will be able to pay back a loan or not. So that's the job for you. And now let's try to understand what is the career roadmap of a credit analyst. Usually people join a credit analyst in the role of a credit analyst. Then they become a risk officer. As you grow from a junior credit analyst to a senior credit analyst, and then higher up, you become a risk officer who is responsible not for evaluating individual applications or individual loans, but the overall risk of the portfolio. So normally a lender and a non-banking finance company might have lent to 1,000 different people. A risk manager looks at the overall portfolio and sees whether we are taking too much risk while lending money, or should we do some changes in our loan lending structure to reduce the overall risk exposure. So as you join as a junior credit analyst, you might grow into a senior credit analyst, and then to a risk officer, and then maybe to a risk underwriter level role. That's typically the journey of a credit analyst. Now, credit analyst jobs are usually found in banks, because banks are the biggest lenders in any system. So normally we find jobs of credit analyst in banks. We also find these jobs in NBFCs. So for those of you who are not aware, NBFCs is a special type of a bank. It's a bank, non-banking financial corporation, which has got a license from Reserve Bank of India to give loans. So they are in the business of only lending. They are not in the business of accepting deposits. They are in the business of lending. We have thousands of NBFCs in India, and they are doing a great job of lending. All these thousands of NBFCs require credit analysts to give out loans. Apart from banks and NBFCs, there are lending institutions. There are financial institutions which give special purpose lending. For example, we have Infrastructure Finance Corporation, we have Power Finance Corporation, we have Transport Finance Corporation. So we have various different types of organizations. We have something called National Skill Development Corporation, which gives loans for education. So all these organizations are giving special purpose financing, and they also require a credit analyst who looks at the loan application, who evaluates the business of the borrower, and then decides whether these people will be able to repay the loan or not. So all such organizations hire a credit analyst, but it doesn't end there. Apart from these organizations, credit analysts are also hired by credit rating agencies. Yes, there are many credit rating agencies who hire a credit analyst to be able to publish reports. These rating agencies act like a third party, a third invigilator who is keeping a check on the lending and borrowings being done by banks and financial institutions. So we have various credit rating agencies who do a thorough study of the borrower and submit their recommendation and report to the lender. So there are jobs of credit analyst with banks, NBFCs, financial institutions, as well as credit rating agencies. Apart from this, there is a new breed of lenders which is emerged in the world. These are called Fintech Lenders. These are financial technology companies which do lending. And yes, each of these Fintech companies require a credit analyst. So if you have ever used an Ola cab, sometimes Ola, depending on your profile, gives you an option to pay later. Now this option to pay later has been given as a loan to you. Sometimes you find that when you buy something on Amazon or Flipkart or Swiggy or Zomato, you get an option of easy pay. Now this easy pay or pay later is a loan which these companies are extending to you based on your profile history, based on your purchase behavior. So these companies, these are all fintech lenders, and these companies also hire credit analysts. So the type of companies that hire credit analysts is wide, right from banks, NBFCs, financial institutions, credit rating agencies, fintech. All these companies require and hire credit analysts. However, each company requires fewer credit analysts. Each of these companies do not need a big team of credit analysts, and that is why they require lesser people. Which doesn't mean that there are few jobs in this space, but it means that these jobs are given only to the brightest and smartest of credit analyst people. Now, typically, the journey of credit analyst is from a junior analyst to the underwriter. In this journey, there could be lending in retail segment. There could be individual lending. So there are certain credit analysts who specialize in individual evaluation. So these guys will see whether a person has enough salary, what kind of expenditure does he have, what kind of habits does he have, does he spend a lot of money on smoking, does he spend a lot of money on gambling, and based on that decides whether I can give personal loan to this guy. Should I give a loan for buying an iPhone to this person? So these people are doing individual lending. They are evaluating individual profiles. And then there are special credit analysts who work on business lending. These people have their specialization in studying the financial reports of a business, understanding the business behavior, understanding the industry of that business, and these people give loans, do credit rating analysis for a business. Now, so there are three dimensions that we have discussed. There is a journey of a credit analyst. There is a type of organization that you can get into, and then there is a type of customer who you could be catering. You could be catering an individual customer or corporate customer. Even in the corporate customer, even in the business customer, there are specializations. So there are credit analysts who specialize in a type of industry. There could be a credit analyst who understands healthcare sector very well. So he is hired by his company to study or analyze all the healthcare applications. There could be someone who is very good with the energy industry. He understands energy industry very well, and that is why his company hires them for analyzing energy related files. So with all these types of jobs, it's a highly specialized skill, and it requires some special knowledge, skills, and attitude. I will soon talk to you about that. But before that, if anyone has any questions, I would like you to throw them at me. So let me share with you the job scenario of a credit analyst. Now, credit analyst is an opportunity for logically inclined. Please understand, you should go into this field if you are not very creative types, but more logical types. You know, this is a perfect field if you justify, explain everything with logic. If in understanding anything, you need a logical build up to that, you know, then this is the job for you. Secondly, you have to be very diligent. You know, it is like a detective's job. You cannot just be careless about anything. You cannot say, oh, sorry, I forgot to see this. You know, this is a job where once you've given a loan, once you've signed the file, the lakhs and crores are at stake. So you have to be very, very diligent and pay attention to the tiniest things. Nothing can be overlooked. So if you are very careful, if you're very careful about how things are written, where things are kept, if you are able to see anything which is missing, you know, and you love numbers. So it is a job for those people who are logical, diligent, and have a love for numbers, because a lot of times you will not even be seeing your borrower. You will only be looking at their files, their numbers, their data, their records. You know, so it is a job for people who are logical, who are careful, diligent, you know, and who are in love with numbers. Now, as I told you, unlike the other job roles that we have taken so far, there are only 1,300 jobs for credit analyst. I'm sure this is sufficient for all the people who are watching this video. You know, so all those of you who are connected with us watching this webisode, you know, can definitely get into this role, because we have enough jobs for all of you. There are 1,300 jobs available now. As long as you have the right aptitude, as long as you have the right temperament to be a credit analyst, you will find a job for yourself. Don't worry about that. And in case you feel that this is not the job for you, this is not the right skill, this is not the attitude you have, you know, then we will be covering more job roles. We have already done 3, this is the 4th, and we'll be covering 8 more job roles in the weeks to come. So keep watching us every Saturday at 5 p.m. on your favorite social media channel. You know, it could be YouTube, it could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn. Keep watching us to discover a new job role every Saturday at 5 p.m. And if you've not already shared this session, go ahead, share it with your friends before I start explaining what are the knowledge, skills, and attitude required to be a credit analyst. So as I told you, there are about 1,300 jobs available for credit analyst. A lot of these jobs, you know, are for a salary bracket of 6+ lakh. You know, so these are the jobs where you will get approximately 50,000 rupees per month, and you need 1+ year experience. So you need to work with a credit analyst as an intern, as an article, and then learn a certain basics before you get a job of 50,000 rupees plus in the credit analysis field. Yes, it is possible. If you learn your knowledge skills well and you have the right attitude, you will be able to get a 50,000 rupees job as a credit analyst. There are 700 jobs available right now on naukri.com, you know, which require only 1+ year of experience. As you grow, as you gain more experience, you know, the journey is not very fast. You know, there are about 613 jobs available for people who have more than 2 years experience at a salary of 10+ lakh. So yes, it is possible to get a 8-digit salary if you are able to develop an industry expertise or a deep insight about how people borrow and who are the people who return. If you start understanding the psychology of the borrower, with 2+ year of experience, you can apply for more than 600 jobs, which give you a 8-digit salary of 10 lakh or more, you know, as a credit analyst. However, the journey doesn't go way beyond from here. You know, there are only 81 jobs for people with more than 3 years experience who to be able to earn more than 25 lakh per annum. So typically the journey of a credit analyst would start at about as an intern or an article at about 15, 20, 25,000 rupees. You will be able to get into 6+ bracket with more than a year's experience, and you will be able to attain something like 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month, you know, with 3 to 5 years of experience. But that's the aspiration level. That's what you should expect if you want to be a credit analyst. However, even to expect that, you must be logically inclined, diligent, and you should love numbers. So I hope you've understood the kind of expectation you should have if you want to be a credit analyst. You love numbers, you are diligent, very careful, very methodical, you know, and you are logical, you're not creative types. Then this is the career for you. And 2-3 lakh rupees a month is not a bad salary, guys, right? Now let's understand what are the kind of companies you can get into. I'd already explained to you the spectrum of companies. Let me quote some of them. So as I said, credit rating agencies, of course, these companies hire the largest number of credit analysts. So there is a great opportunity to work with credit rating agencies, and there are both international and domestic agencies. So we have companies like Fitch Rating, which is a global powerhouse in credit rating space. So somebody like a Fitch Rating is studying more than 30 industries and hundreds and thousands of companies across the globe. So there are plenty of jobs in credit research with a company like Fitch Rating, which is one of the most prized jobs that you would aspire to get. We also have a company called S&P, which is equivalent to Fitch Rating on a global scale. But S&P has an Indian subsidiary, which is called CRISIL. So CRISIL is another Indian company which is into credit rating. Like CRISIL, we have companies like ICRA, we have companies like Moody's, and we have many other such companies, some of which hire from TKW's Institute of Banking and Finance also for the credit rating job. So if you want to get into credit rating space, if you want to be a credit analyst, these credit rating agencies could be your calling. They could be a great place to start, because that could be a very good foundation for the beginning of your career. But apart from that, credit rate analyst jobs are obviously there in each and every bank which is lending, and every bank lends. So every bank offers a job. So I put examples like Axis Bank and PNB, but you can imagine all the private and public sector banks to be hiring credit analysts. There would be regional people, every city would have a credit analyst, every large branch would have a credit analyst. So there are enough jobs for credit analysts with all the banks. Apart from this, we have companies like CRISIL. Now, CRISIL is a very special CIBIL. Now, CIBIL is a very special company which does not do individual credit analysis, but they collect data of people on a large scale. They collect mass data from various places. Like they could be collecting your data from mobile phone companies, they could be collecting data from credit card companies. They collect a lot of data, and then they create financial model to give a credit score to every individual. So companies like CIBIL do credit analysis, but for individuals at a mass scale. Now, this is a very exciting space to work, because a lot of individual lending, a lot of retail lending is growing in our country, and it will continue to grow at a never imaginable speed. So companies like CIBIL will take a lot of importance. There will be a lot of jobs in such companies for people who can collect, who can understand individual behaviors and do credit analysis of that. So we have opportunities for companies like this. Then we have companies like Pressed Loans, IIFL. These are like NBFCs which are lending on to businesses, or these are NBFCs which are giving personal loans. More examples in this space would be Muthoot Gold Finance, or your Reliance Capital. So these are all NBFCs, or Aditya Capital. These companies are giving loans for various purposes. Some of them, like a Bajaj Finance, would give for consumer durables to individual, but even they have to do a credit analysis of that individual. Before I give you a loan, I need to know whether you have been paying your EMIs on time, do you get your salary on time, etc. So a credit analyst has to study the case history before sanctioning a loan. Then we have NBFCs which are giving business loans, small business loans, loan against gold, etc., etc. There are NBFCs giving loans for commercial vehicle, personal vehicle. All of you would know that while buying a car or a bike, you can get a loan. So there are all sorts of lending happening in the country, and all these NBFCs require somebody for a credit analysis role. Apart from this, we have fintech companies. So examples are EasyPay, or Early Salary. These are companies which are doing technology-based lendings, and they need somebody to create a model, create a financial model before loans are given. So with all these types of companies, we need to understand what does it entail. How do we become a credit analyst? And to become a credit analyst, you definitely need a graduation degree. And ideally, this graduation degree has to be in the field of commerce or finance. Normally, to start as a credit analyst, you need to be a BCom, a BBA, or something equivalent. A BFA, not bachelor's in finance, but bachelor's in financial analysis. So you need a graduation degree in finance or commerce field. just in case you are a graduate but you do not have a degree in commerce or finance, it does not matter. Then you need a postgraduate diploma or a postgraduate degree in the field of commerce and finance. There are many people who work in credit analyst space. A lot of engineers work in credit analysis space, after doing their post graduation in commerce or finance. But you do need a degree. You can become a credit analyst right after graduation or after doing post graduation, but in both cases you need at least your last qualification in commerce or finance field. There are a lot of technology people, a lot of IT, B.Tech in computers who are studying finance and then becoming fintech lenders. So we have plenty of such jobs, plenty of openings for people from all walks of life. But what you need is at least one qualification. Your last qualification has to be in the field of commerce, finance, or banking. TKWs does a postgraduate diploma in banking and finance, and a lot of students who do that postgraduate diploma can go into credit analyst job role. Okay. Apart from this, there are many other commerce and finance oriented courses with which you can get into the space. But then a course qualification never gets you a job. Always remember that you never get a job because of the course qualification you have done. Just because you've done a BCom doesn't make you a great commerce worker. Just because you've done a B.Tech or BSc doesn't make you a scientist or a technologist. So you need the right knowledge, the right skills, and the right attitude. And you have to do certain courses. You have to get certain specialized knowledge and skills to get into credit analyst job. There are many banking and finance jobs in which you can just do plain graduation or plain post graduation and get into those jobs. But this one is not like that. This one requires you to get specialized knowledge, specialized skills to be able to get in. Let's understand what is the knowledge we need. So the first subject that you have to be good at to be a credit analyst is economics. There are the whole lending, the whole borrowing cycles, the whole industry cycles are cyclic in nature. They go up and down, and these cyclic natured things always have good times and bad times. That is why a credit analyst has to be very good in understanding the economic cycles and be able to understand which are the right industries, which are the right economic opportunities to go after, and which are the ones to be ignored. Now, recently I've been seeing that there is a lot of commodity upcycle happening in the world right now. So any lender would like to lend money to someone who's making gas, someone who's making oxygen gas, someone who's making helium gas, someone who's making hydrogen gas, because there's an economic upcycle there. So ideally, to be able to a credit analyst, you have to be very good with your subject knowledge of economics. There are, I think every business, every commerce, every banking, every finance course would have some kind of subjects which train you on economics. So you have to be good in those subjects. Second thing you need is a great understanding of business and industry. Now, business and industry means you have to be able to either specialize in a particular business or industry. So you could be an energy specialist, you could be a manufacturing specialist, you could be a commodity specialist. You can have a specialization, but before you get into a specialization, you have to have a good understanding of all the industries. You need to understand what's happening in the pharmaceutical industry right now. You need to understand what is happening in the paper industry right now, or what is happening in the vehicle industry right now. Then only you will be able to evaluate your loan applications. So it is very important to develop an understanding of businesses and industry. Now, most of the management subjects, most of the management courses would teach you some kind of paper about business and industry. Make sure you're good in those subjects. Make sure you are good at subjects like strategic management or business environment, management, business management. These kind of papers you have to be good at to be able to understand the various businesses and industry. Apart from that, you also have to be good in current affairs. In TKW's Institute of Banking and Finance, we have this mandatory learning ability subject where students learn from reading newspaper every day. You know, we have these weekly classes where we discuss newspaper, we discuss industries, we discuss businesses. So if you are good at that, for all my students who are watching, if you're good with those businesses and industries, then you will be able to make a great career in the credit analyst field. But if you don't understand, if you don't take interest in those areas, then it'll be difficult to get in this space. You know, third subject that you have to be very good at is financial statement analysis. You know, so you should be able to read a balance sheet, P&L, do ratio analysis. So everything that you might be studying in financial management or financial analysis, such subjects, you should be very good at that. You know, if you are able to do financial analysis, then only you can do credit analysis. Fourth thing that you have to be good at is the fourth knowledge that you need is business maths. So in TKW's IBF, we teach banking maths. Similarly, different colleges, different courses, different programs have subjects about business maths, financial maths, you know, and quantitative techniques. All of these subjects have the underlying same fundamentals, which is business maths. So you have to be good at business maths, because I already told you, you have to be a numerical person. To be a great credit analyst, you have to be number person. And the fifth knowledge that you have to have is statistics and forecasting. Earlier, if you remember, even in investment banking, I had told you have to be good in statistics and forecasting. This is a very important subject for anyone who is doing something for the future. Forecasting is about fortune telling, reading a horoscope, but we don't read these horoscopes by reading palm lines. We read these horoscopes by looking at numbers. So whether you want to be an investment banker or a credit analyst, you have to be very good in statistics and forecasting. So these are the 5 knowledge subjects. These are the 5 subjects which you need to be good at to be able to do a good, to be able to get into a job of a credit analyst. Then there are certain skills. Okay, now we have skills like commercial lending. So essentially, as a credit analyst, you are going to take a decision on whether to lend or not. Your signature or your comments on the file are going to play a very important role. You know, so you have to have the right commercial lending skills. Now, past is never a great predictor of future, and that is where your unique brain will play a role. You have to look at a business, but the business may not be doing good in past. You have to have a commercial understanding. You have to have a commercial skill to be able to judge whether this loan will be able to convert this business from a bad business to a good business. Otherwise, your comments will always be negative and files will always get rejected. So past is not a predictor of future, and that is where the credit analyst plays a role in evaluating with his commercial lending skill whether this loan will make this business go good or not. It's a very important thing. You know, it's a very important skill and very important for the success of our country. And that is why, to be a great credit analyst, you need to develop your commercial lending skills. Students in TKWs do a project called Make in India, where while doing Make in India project, you know, which is a live project, we learn and improve our commercial lending skills. A lot of questions are coming, I see, as we talk. I will address all of them. Rest assured, keep pouring in your questions, keep putting them, and we will take up all these questions. Now, second skill that you need is your ability to do financial analysis. So you have to be good in the knowledge, in the subject of financial analysis, financial statement analysis, and you also have to have the skill, because just being able to read a statement, just because you've studied ratio analysis in college, does not make you a financial analyst. You have to be able to interpret, you have to be able to judge those ratios. So you need financial analysis skill, which is developed only by practicing it. So you have to practice doing financial analysis so that you are able to develop that skill. The third skill that you need is called debt modeling. Now, there are not many courses around. You know, there are hardly any institutes that teach debt modeling. This is something you will have to learn to be able to become a credit analyst. There are financial modeling courses, you know, so that's the foundation of debt modeling. But after learning financial modeling, you have to be able to model a debt statement. You have to be able to create a model of debt, you know, and debt repayment ability. And that is one essential skill which is sought after. If you have the skill, the chances of you getting selected in a job grow up dramatically. If you know how to do debt modeling, with 80% assurance, I can tell you will get a job of a credit analyst. So debt modeling is a great skill which you need, is a very critical skill which you need for becoming a credit analyst. And IT solution design is another skill. Now we are talking about a lot of fintech coming in this space, and these financial technology companies do not depend on a human being doing credit analyst. Software does the credit analyst, but a human being who's a credit analyst writes the logic of the software. So the solution of the software has to be designed by a human being. So to be able to get into a fintech company, or to be able to work in as a product head at a senior level in a bank, if you develop this skill of IT solution design, if you know how to design an IT solution, you will be able to become a great credit analyst in fintech space. And then I believe, currently I've given a job analysis of September salary, but I believe that somebody who can design a great solution, in this country or in this world, can get several times more salary than that. If you know credit analysis and you know IT solution design, you can get much higher salary jobs. In fact, I would suggest all the existing credit analysts to learn IT solution design. This is a missing skill gap. We have thousands of credit analysts in our country, but very few of them understand IT solution design. If somebody merges these two skills, you will become a great asset for the future. So being able to design IT solutions is the fourth skill that you need. And the fifth skill that you need is product management. So every loan product has a life cycle. Every product has a life cycle. Similarly, every loan has a life cycle. So when you create a home loan product, the competitor copies it, and after some time you have to design a new product. Then only your organization, your bank, your credit rating agency, your NBFC, or your fintech company will remain competitive. So whatever algorithms, whatever product designs are made once are not permanent, and a credit analyst who has an understanding of IT solution design has to keep developing new products as per the changing needs of customers and market. And that is why the ability of doing product design is a very important, a very useful skill to become a great credit analyst. Okay, great. So in this particular job role, you need some amazing skills. And the good thing is, in TKW's Institute of Banking and Finance, we do a project called Make in India, and we do another project called Innovative Product Launch. Both of them jointly teach you 3 of these skills. Both these projects, the first one teaches you debt modeling, the second one teaches you IT solution design and product management. And with this knowledge exposure, you get all the right skills to become a credit analyst. So those of you who are studying in TKWs and want to become a credit analyst, make sure you develop these skills, you do these projects very, very nicely, so that you are able to develop the right set of skills. But then knowledge and skills can be acquired. Knowledge can be acquired by reading, watching videos. Skills can be acquired by doing practice, doing projects, doing internship, doing assignments, doing experiential learning tasks. What about attitude? You have to have the right attitude to become a credit analyst. If you don't have the right attitude, I would suggest that you look for other jobs in banking and finance, because this field is full of jobs and different types of roles. So attitude required to be a successful credit analyst is attention to detail. If you truly believe that you are a person who pays attention to the tiniest of details, then only dream of becoming a credit analyst. If you have a very process-oriented attitude, if you don't take shortcuts in life, if you do everything in a methodical way, if all you care is not about results, you also care about how results are achieved, then you are a process-oriented person, and this is the right field for you. Otherwise, you will not enjoy working in this field. So you need to have a process-oriented attitude. Then you have to be a multitasker. If you're someone who wants to do only one thing at a time, then this job will be too overwhelming for you. You will not find it comfortable. You will find too much stress and pressure in the job, and you might slip out things. So you need to be a multitasker to be able to be a credit analyst. You might be evaluating one application of a petrol pump and another application of a beauty parlor. So while doing these two things, you are researching two industries, you're studying two types of businesses. So you have to be able to do multiple things at the same time, and it's not just researching them, it is many other things that you're doing together at one time. So you have to be a multitasker. If you think you are a multitasker, then this is the field for you. Fourth attitude that you need is that of a inquirer. If you are very inquisitive, if you've already asked 10 questions in this session, that means you're very curious, you have a question to everything, then this is the right job for you. If you're not that type, if you're very conservative, introvert, who doesn't have too many curiosities, you're happy following what somebody else has told you, then probably credit analyst may not be the right role for you. However, if you're someone who has a question to everything somebody says, you object, you suspect, you question, you inquire for everything, then you could be a great credit analyst. And finally, you have to be a great researcher. Credit analysis is a lot about research. It's like doing detective work. You have to go investigate, research, find a lot of things. If that is the kind of attitude you have, then credit analysis is the field for you. So for your ease, let me repeat all the knowledge, skills, and attitude once again. To be a great credit analyst, you need the knowledge of economics, you need the knowledge of business and industry, you need the knowledge of financial statement analysis, you need banking maths, and you need statistics and forecasting. These are the 5 subject areas in which you have to be good at. Then you need skills of commercial lending, skills of financial analysis, debt modeling, IT solution design, and product management to be good at credit analysis job. But then before you decide to get into the job, check your attitude and make sure that you pay attention to details, you are process oriented, you are a multitasker, you are inquisitive, and you love research. If all of this matches, if the attitude matches, knowledge and skills can be acquired. If the attitude doesn't match, then you might look for other jobs in banking and finance. And as I've repeated before, every Saturday at 5 p.m, we do this top careers in banking and finance on your favorite social media channel. So if credit analysis is not your field, you can join us again next Saturday at 5 p.m. and learn about a new job role in the field of banking and finance. So with this knowledge, skills, and attitude, if you think you are cut to be a credit analyst, welcome aboard and start developing the right knowledge and skills. Right? Let's take up the questions that you've been asking and see how we can help you get to your dream goal. Now, from where will we get these skills is a question Manisha has asked. So Manisha, all these 5-6 skills, any skill can be acquired by practice, and to practice a skill, you have to either do certain tasks. So if you are studying in TKW's IBF, when you do experiential learning tasks, they lead to skill development. Apart from that, you have to do something more deeper, more engaging than a task, which is called a capstone project, and all the projects that you do in TKW's IBF lead to these skills. And finally, just experiential learning tasks and capstone projects give you enough skills to be able to do some kind of an articleship, to be able to work with a credit analyst, and that gives the final finishing for you to acquire enough skills. Now, so one, I suggest if you're not studying at TKW's IBF, you could be doing any course and join TKW's IBF programs to develop these skills. Or if you cannot join TKW's IBF, then start doing tasks and projects and practice assignments to be developing the right kind of skills. We have somebody called Ashish Thakur who's asking whether TKW's IBF provides a credit analyst course separately. No, Ashish, currently we do not offer a course in credit analyst. We offer an advanced diploma in banking and finance and a postgraduate diploma in banking and finance, both of which cover the right skills which are required. We teach a 48 skill framework. We try to work on your 48 different skills, and these skills that I told you, these knowledge areas that I told you, are all part of our curriculum. Divya Gupta wants to know what is the career path of a credit analyst. So let me explain once again quickly. You start as an article or an intern working with a credit analyst. Then you become a junior credit analyst, and then you become a senior credit analyst. then you can become a risk manager, and then finally you can become a risk underwriter, which is the apex level of job you can get into with credit analyst skills. However, many people, what they do is they start as a credit analyst and change their career path into portfolio management, into other fields by doing alternative skills. So you could start as a credit analyst, spend 2-3 years, and develop more skills parallelly and become a portfolio manager, become a treasury person, get into core business management of a bank or an NBFC, etc. We have Tenzin who wants to ask, is financial analyst same as credit analyst? Yes, Tenzin, and no, Tenzin. So financial analyst and credit analyst are both doing analysis, but what are they looking for in that analysis is different. It's like one person who's doing financial analyst is looking at it from a perspective of, can I make an investment in this? Whereas somebody who is doing a credit analysis is saying, if I add this much money to this existing business, what will be the result? So they are both analyzing, they are both doing analysis of the financial statement, but what they are looking for in the analysis could be different. It's like two people are in a library looking at the same book rack, but they could be looking for different things in that book rack. So that's how these are two different job roles. Suraj wants to ask, is there any different type of credit analyst is like commercial credit analyst? Yes, of course, Suraj. Credit analysts, once you become a credit analyst, you could be working on individual, or you could be working on commercial, or you could also be working on infrastructure. Now, individual lending is more about creating an algorithm, creating a large data set, and then doing business modeling. Commercial lending is more about studying a business, creating a commercial model of that business, and then creating a lending. Infrastructure lending is about a very long-term forecast about how a particular thing will do, and then creating a credit model around it. So if all of you know about Delhi Agra Expressway, this whole Delhi Agra Expressway has taken a huge loan. JP Group has taken a very huge loan to build that expressway. This whole is infrastructure lending, and that requires a very serious, very seasoned credit analyst. Anchal wants to know, what is the future scope? What is the scope of credit analyst? The scope is amazing, Anchal. What is important is, if you have the right attitude and then you put in the right knowledge and skills, the efforts to acquire right knowledge and skills, you could do great in this field. However, if you don't have the attitude to be in this field, there are many other alternatives. So the scope is there. The number of jobs is less, but because you will have the knowledge and skills, you will be able to crack those interviews. So judge yourself about your attitude. And if you have a problem in judging yourself, don't worry. We are doing again in October our career boot camp, where we will help you understand your attitude. We'll help you create a roadmap on what is your attitude, what is the right job role for you, and do you have the right knowledge and skills. So if you are confused about your attitude, join our bootcamp program, and in 3 days, with personal coaching, personal mentoring, personal discussions, we will help you create that roadmap. Ashish wants to know, okay, so Ashish wanted to make a suggestion. Thank you, Ashish, for recommending TKW's IPF. Great, so we have a lot of suggestions coming now, and we have a question from Charvi. Not in terms of salary, but as in growth and level in the organization. So Charvi, a credit analyst can grow up to the level of risk underwriter, so that means a credit analyst can grow up to the level of chief risk officer in an organization. However, a credit analyst cannot become the CEO of a company. Okay, so in terms of vertical growth in a company, credit analyst role has certain limitations. They are responsible for analyzing the risk, but they are not actually sourcing the business. That is why they rarely make to the CEO level. However, this is likely to change. With more and more fintech companies evolving in next few years, will not be surprised to see chief risk officer becoming the chief executive officer in times to come. Now we have Finmin. What sort of a name is that? Hi Finmin, please put your name in the comments. Okay, you're Vivek. Vivek, will credit analyst be automated or replaced by robots and AI? That's the great thing, yes, of course, the jobs of credit analysts will be replaced by robots and AI, and more credit analysts will be required to make these robots and AI. That's the beauty of this, there was once a time when people thought computers will replace paper industry, but when computers came, the sale of papers increased because we wanted to take printouts of everything. Then we thought that probably internet will reduce the telephone calls that we make, but internet has increased the telephone conversations, the average revenue spent, because we want to talk more often. So similarly, robots and AI will not replace the credit analyst job. They will change the credit analyst job. He will not be responsible for individual analysis of people. He will be responsible for making models, studying the data, studying mass data, and improving those models. And that is why I say the skill of being able to do product management, skill of being able to do solution design will be critical for becoming successful as a credit analyst. Pratibha wants to know what is the difference between credit analyst and risk analyst. So, Pratibha, risk analyst is a specialized job where this person is responsible for analyzing risk of any type. This could be risk to life, this could be risk to business, this could be risk to loan, this could be any type of risk. Whereas a credit analyst is studying a whole lending, and as part of that study, he is also studying risks involved in that lending. Now, what will happen is if you are a junior credit analyst in a company, your risk officer will give you certain risks to identify as part of every loan application, and you will perform a risk analysis as a credit officer. However, someone else will be telling you what all risks you should study. Ashish wants to know which is better in terms of growth, a credit analyst or investment banker. Ashish, investment banker is one of the apex jobs. I mean, as of now, I cannot see anything greater than that in the finance field. If you want to make a lot of money, there is nothing better than that. However, it is very taxing. I had told all of you last time in my last session, for those of you who have not seen, go to TKW's IBF YouTube channel and search for my previous video about investment banking. Investment bankers spend 16 hours a day. If you're that hardworking, if you're that passionate about work, then investment banking can get you amazing money. Credit analyst is a more balanced lifestyle. However, the jobs above 24 lakhs are very few. So there are lesser chances that you will get a 1 crore rupee package as a credit analyst. Suraj wants to know what is the salary package in this role. Suraj, I've already explained that the salaries with the 1+ year of experience as an article or an intern, the salaries can get as high as 6 lakh. There are 700 jobs available right now in September for credit analysts who understand this field. As an article or an intern, you could get a job of 15 to 25,000 rupees. Once you learn credit analyst, you will be able to apply for jobs which are 6 lakh plus in this field. We have another question from Ashish. Okay, Ashish says he's attended this session for the first time. Ashish, you're welcome to attend this session every Saturday at 5 p.m. And I suggest that you ask your friends also to join it, because if you ask your friends, we might give you this session free of cost. We will be conducting a boot camp in the month of October on career roadmap, and you can get that roadmap, that boot camp free of cost. So keep attending this session. We will be covering one new job role every Saturday. This was season 1, episode 4. 8 more episodes to go, 8 more job roles to discuss. If you have a job role that you would like us to cover, please let us know in comments, in chat, and we will be happy to take it as part of our season 1 of this series. I hope you're enjoying these series. Keep watching, learn about all the 12 job roles, and it will give you a lot of understanding about what you should be doing in the banking and finance field. All the best. Wish you all great luck. Have a good evening. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.